Hello guys, and it's me Ola Khalifa, and yes, we're me and Natalie. This is Natalie, and today we have a very interesting talk for you. And don't worry, we're just sitting here. It's early in the morning, and we decided to meet up at 11. I met this beautiful young lady on a Christmas Eve, the New Year's Eve, right? I was like, no, wait, we just clicked in. I used to work in that shop, for fashion, I do mannequins and things like that. And there was this party that I wanted to go, but I just went to sleep, and I always do. But I haven't missed no fun. I've got this beautiful girl back. We're here in Dahab, and don't you worry, we'll go out and we'll show you the mountains. And here we do all the deep, kind of talk. And then we go out and chill maybe and show you all the beauty of this beautiful place. So Natalie, what do you do, Natalie?
Thank you, Ola.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Yes, morning, dear.
So I've been, I guess to answer your question, what do I do? In a short space of time that we've got together.
Do something yes, so that we make sure it's there. Yeah.
Okay. So I've been on as I was sharing earlier, a journey over the last several years to commit my life to living a soul-driven life, a soul-inspired life, following the beat of my own drum, following my heartbeat, following what my soul wants to create. And
so you ended up here in Dahab.
I ended up in Egypt.
I ended up in Dahab, Egypt. Yeah, it's amazing. Yes.
It's one of those journeys where you plan to come for 10 days and you stay for 30 years.
Tell me about it. That's the story.
So yes. I came here for 10 days.
Yes.
And it's now been nearly 7 months in Egypt. So sometimes we feel like we can plan everything in life and we have it all sussed out, but life has a different story for us. So this has been my journey.
And where are you from?
I'm from London.
The simplest.
London concrete.
You have this this saying, if you want to make God laugh, just make a plan, right? Yeah. You have this saying, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up in Egypt, not planned or anything like that. And I carried on doing my work. So I help people to also live this way. I help people to bring forth an idea, an expression, a purpose that they feel connected to with their soul. And we do that through the healing of themselves.
You're trying to facilitate that, you first started with yourself, and then you try to implement the same maybe kind of journey or strategy on others. You've reached the reaching, and it's very helpful even for you on the personal kind of level when you kind of share it. It more deepens in.
Yeah, it's a spirit. I used to be a physiotherapist, physical therapist. So for most of my working life, I was working for somebody else's dreams. I was working 9 to 5. I was working in a very trapped environment, and I felt like I had wings that needed to fly.
You're so decent. It's not called trapped environment. It's welcome to the corporate capitalist slavery kind of life. Where they excuse me, I wouldn't sugarcoat it, where they suck you out of your own passion, where you put you purposefully on a rat race that you cannot skip, that there is no way where you dwell, and then reach nothing, because I believe it's all about the self, the journey, I'm not sure, guys, of course, all of us as women, this women who run with wolves, and this sacred journey for women, when they get a calling, I believe so. To find the wild woman in you, not the taming of the shrew or the wild kind of but this the sacred, the womb, the energy. It's so yes, it deserves a sacred kind of journey, and our ancestors used to do that, and us too have this. How old are you now? Excuse me, no, I thought that's good, because she will come in, this is the wrong question, skip that. Yes, I was let's honor the long lashes. Yes.
I believe what you said is just right. It's a soul journey, and when you have a calling, you can't deny it.
Yes.
you can't, like I've tried to walk away from living this life many times, and it follows you, and you come back to it and back to it because you feel like you're here to express something.
You're distant
You
too.
feel like you're here to create something, and I believe we're all creators in our own art form.
Yes.
Whether it be doing a podcast like this, or music, or
I don't know
talking, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
we are here to create, and we're here to build things, and that's what our souls.
Co-create.
And that's what we
and
want to do.
co-build
And
things
co-create,
basically,
yes.
because it's not like, no, I believe the more as we like, especially in these very interesting times, and like, this, this, I mean, I try this de-stretching or the stretching the individuality and the collectivity. Like, this is something that you cannot deny with what's going on. Like, let's skip this for later. We will come to that later. But yes, and it's a collective kind of journey you cannot skip. And like, it's of course you gotta work on the self because the self is you. However, you cannot completely detach it. Like, we are in post-COVID time, and this is where, like, people got to, this dilemma. Well, this is not this dilemma, but yes, it's the individuality versus the collective. And yes, and you choose the collective. What do you choose? It's a very complicated question. But I mean, yes, you can get back to your story where you need to find the purpose, and like you came here and you found this place, and like yes. Yes. Yeah.
So what is the question?
Yes. So let's get back to you. And how do you help? Like, because after, like, before we record this, you said, like, you help women.
Yes.
So all your audience, or all your let's say that you do workshops basically, right? As well.
Yes.
And all the let's say the participants are women.
Mostly women, but a few men as
What
well.
about poor men? Like, they
And men come through as well, but mostly the women. And
Yes.
I think it's because I love to work a lot with the voice. And there's so many women who feel this calling as well to express their voice. Like the voice in like so many different ways, like physically speaking their truth, physically singing, but also the voice, like the inner voice, the voice in the heart, the message that they want to bring forth. So women tend to fit this archetype. More so than men do, but yes, that's
where the noise comes in. Yes, exactly. You try to help them, put away the noise so that they can listen to this inner voice that you're speaking about.
Yes. So, what about you? Have you ever had a dream or something that you felt called to create?
All of us.
Yes,
Definitely. All of us. Like, we complete each other's pictures. Like, I believe so. And nothing happens. Like, all the coincidences are beautifully, like, fabric, and I believe in this. And especially here, like, this is the land of manifestation, and I love community, and
it's definitely that.
it's definitely yes, like, and all the times. So and today you have something very interesting going on. Tell us.
Today,
Yes. And then supposedly I'm participating.
Yes, you will be there.
You will be there. Especially, we're like the voice. It's one of the most powerful chakras.
Have you ever had a vision that you've seen in your imagination, and you don't know how or when it's going to come into creation, but you just know that it's going to come through? Have you ever had an experience like that? It could be like a dream, not necessarily through a dream, but it's just a vision that I'm a very imaginative man. I use my imagination a lot, and I will sometimes see visions of what I'm here for. Have you ever experienced that?
I experienced, it doesn't have to be a vision, because vision is more kind of detailed. Like, visualizing is one of the very important tools to build your own reality. I believe we make our own reality by way or another. Like, it depends how much and how true and how honest we listen to this inner voice. Like, you were just speaking about feeling. I call it intuition. Like, and I call it this, like, because this has to be set like this. If it's not, it would do like that, like, so you wouldn't feel this sense of for stability, whichever you want to call it. Like, this chair needs to be put on four legs, like, it wouldn't stay on three, for instance. So you see, so we all, I believe, like, especially in these times, and like, the shifting of the, like, into the dimensions, and like, the multi-dimensional, what's going on in the world right now. And like, we're lucky to be living, like, living in such moments, and like, and to be honest with who we are, and like, you see, and follow, like, what you believe in, like, apart from all the fabrics and numbers and things like that. Yes, and you do the same too.
Yes, and this is how all of this manifested for me today with what you asked me before about the ceremony.
Yes.
So I've had a calling to create something in the realm of women, and helping women to use their voice to heal their bodies, because the voice has resonance, and it has power to transform your inner world. And it also has this power outside of you to connect you to something greater, to connect you to your source, to connect you to spirituality. And so this is my intention of the ceremony tonight, to help women realize that their voice holds an immense power.
Matters.
It matters, and it's also the thing that connects you to everything. Like, we're drinking coffee here, and you use your voice to order coffee, and you use your voice to express your love, and you use your voice to express your grief, and you use your voice to speak to God, and you use your voice in every single form of communication. But most people will go through their days without even realizing, or giving it a second thought on how powerful this is to create your reality.
Yes. Yes, it's okay. Feel free. But yes, that's so good. And what else? So
yes, I feel very passionate about the.
So you do singing, like voice healing.
Voice healing, yes. And I love to sing. I love to sing as well. I have a few songs. I probably have an album that I haven't created it, but I have songs that I wrote that are all very emotionally, like, representing some phase of my spiritual journey.
I think you sing, basically you work on mantras. Do you use bowls like the shaman drum? Do you use any instruments? I have to shake yours here. I was like,
I use
I was like, I'm trying to entertain myself,
I play a little guitar. I use the shamanic drum.
Yeah.
But when I feel the most connected, I'm just using my voice. Nothing else is needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you do own, or you just sing, like any natural. You do songs. It doesn't have to be certain kind of.
It can be songs. It can be a lot of overtoning techniques. I've now started to,
like, your secrets, girl.
Yeah.
You don't want to share it all here. Oh my, are you saving the best, like, for the workshop?
Don't give it away.
Like, you know what? When you, like, it depends on the intention. Like, it's not giving it away. You never give it away. However, like, it's and you coming, like, from this, what do you call it? Give it away.
You share what is, share your expression.
Where do you come by? Because, I tell you what. Because this is I need to find the right words, because I told you I'm a linguist, and the more you delve into words and vocabulary, the more you find it very, very interesting. And sometimes that's why Arabic, for instance, the Arabic language, I love the Arabic language so much. Not because I'm biased, and not because I'm Egyptian, and not because I'm Arabic, not because all of that, but really, coming for a sense, I speak a lot of languages, and this is the language, apart from this is Italian. It's really the wordings, it's the language of the poets. And one word can, it can include a lot of meanings.
I agree.
But it's all about, you never give away something. The whole thing is that when you co-understand it and interpret it, the more it gives back to you. And this is take us back to the individuality versus the collective. this is comes back from which background are you in? For instance, this let's go to what's like you coming from a colonist like background, right? And like what's happening and with all what's going on in the world right now, and like we are part like we're a couple of minutes away from like from war, and like and a lot of genocide, and like a lot of children that are being. I'm not gonna start being. I'm not gonna choose my vocabulary about this. But what do you think of all of that? Seeing like giving it, and we wouldn't give it away, like the kind of give it away. But these are very very interesting time, and a voice like a circle, a women's circle as such, like having a lot of women, not the S, or a lot of women's like sharing and when trying to do something for the collective. This is a whole different dimension. What do you think? Coming from this colonist, like white supremacist background.
I always found, I'll only ever speak from my personal experiences, but I've always found myself drawn to community living. This is one of the reasons why I've been in Egypt for so long, and because of the community that I found in Abdullah.
For instance,
so I'm
we'll go show you guys the sea, like we'll skip all this, like
Yes.
We'll skip the AC right now. Yes.
So there's something about living in community, and I mean I lived in communities in Mexico.
Exactly.
There's something about community living that gives you knowledge, gives you wisdom, gives you education, more than living in a semi-detached house in the centre of London could ever. Yes.
Whether on the west or the east.
And there are communities in these spaces, but the nature of, like, for example, when I was living in Melbourne, it's a very built up city, but there's a lot of community gathering and community sort of vibe in that city. So it depends where you are in the world, but there's something that's living with and co-creating with other humans that just feels it's more coming from a place of sharing yourself, sharing.
Yes, definitely the community.
Yes, it's beautiful.
A community based, like kind of. And it's very nourishing.
Nourishing, yes. You learn things that you never learn, like where you're from, because you're outside of your natural habitat. You're outside of your comfort. Yeah, you're outside of where, or even just where you were naturally raised. So you learn things, and I'm always drawn to places where I can
unprogram and start reprogram.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Amazing. With those beautiful green eyes. I'm not sure they saw here. Oh my guys, I haven't slept for only for one day. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, and your journey, guys, as a community based here, like this is the place for it. We're in Dahab, and we check things, and she come back, like we met, as I told you guys, like on the last New Year's, and all of a sudden, like she's back here and she's doing this beautiful voice healing workshop, and yes, and she said Islam found my way to my heart. Like so this is like I was saving. We always say the best for the last. Or maybe we start with it. Like it's all best. Like So tell us about this. And then guys, I will show her. And all of a sudden, like I didn't know why I got those books here with me. Like when I decided to leave the capital city, like embrace the unknown, like break free from the capitalism gray kind of, yes, like and yes, embrace the human side and humanity, like within myself and within others. So I had those, but we show them the surprise later. Okay? So tell us. No. So tell us about this very and is this relevant to what's going on in the world right now? I know. Tell me your story. Like, see, I didn't know that. Like, no, the other thing you haven't told me. We were waiting until like you get this on tape, right? So I am.
Okay, so this is new for you.
This is new for me, so I will stay like I will listen with all heart and all mind and like with all heart,
So This came about because you asked me how, because I said Islam found its way into my heart.
Yeah.
And we're talking about community living. So since I've been here and living in Egypt, I've been in a community in Abu Dhabi. And
You had a religion, like, you know, you were like,
before,
you come from a Christian family.
no, I'm from a Jewish family.
Originally.
Jewish family. I was raised Jewish until the age of about 14. We were religious as well. We did all of the practices and
Yes.
followed the faith.
Yes.
And then as I think 13, 14-year-old little girl who was stubborn and didn't want to go through her bat mitzvah, I have two sisters, me and one of my sisters said no, we don't want to.
We're not going to
protested.
We're going to, like, you know, go for like, we're going to create our own color.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
we
we said we didn't want to follow the faith anymore. So our parents, my parents are very much live truly and freely to you, and if it doesn't feel right for you, then we won't do this. So we left the faith as a family, and so since then I've been, I guess, on a spiritual journey, but not necessarily rooted in a religion. And when I came to Egypt, I was living in a community for only maybe four or 5 months, and the community is all about being who you are. And I was living with this family, so I came as a guest.
Where you in Dahab?
In Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Cosmos.
Paradise on earth, guys. Like,
Paradise.
yes.
A camp called Cosmos in Abu Dhabi. And it's run by a wonderful human and his son, and so there's a very Islamic feel there. You're around Islam. There's, I was watching I was watching Ahmed, who's the owner of the camp, pray, and we were having long talks about Islam and about religion and about faith. So I was in this environment where it was in my mind a lot, and we were having a lot of talks about religion and everything like that, just like questioning life. And these talks do something in you. They like unravel parts of you that who you think you are. They unravel parts of what you're conditioned societally to be.
Much. Yes.
And so all of this was happening like on the surface level, and then much deeper, I found myself in very private moments with myself, especially through when I was singing. When I was connecting with my voice, connecting in a way that...
So how was your date? Like, remember this question?
So,
I thank you. Sorry for interrupting. Please.
Yeah, and then I would love to hear it. So I found myself in these private moments with just myself and just with my spiritual practices, that I felt a connection to God, more like pure, more light, more clean than I have ever done. And it's like when your soul knows something or your soul remembers something, your body tells you.
Yes.
So I had all of this going on at dinner time and in the daytime, but in my private moments, my soul was truly connecting. And I had 3 very big synchronicities that happened through this way of my voice, connecting with my voice and God. And then by the 3rd one, it was like, I couldn't ignore it. And you know what it felt like? It felt like a lightning strike, like just in my heart, in these moments. So by the 3rd time, I couldn't ignore it anymore, and I just said, okay, this is calling me. I didn't decide to follow Islam. I didn't even decide that I wanted to follow the faith, but I feel like it called me, and I couldn't ignore it. And so I'm a person who, once I have a sign that feels like it's divine, I trust it a lot, so I just jumped. And it was like, I had the 3rd sign, and it was like bam, 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 and I said my shahada, and I didn't think about it.
Through voice,
It's through voice.
Can you imagine, like, no, this is how you go into a religion like Islam, through this, like, through voice.
And the beautiful thing is, like, if you think about Islam, it is sound healing, because you recite the Quran. So it's all to do with sound and voice, and so that's my journey, and that's where I feel like I'm being called.
And because you're such a lovely, lucky girl, like, you know, it's like all of a sudden those are the two surprises. Like, you know, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know why I have those books very like books, like, you know, and like, you know, this is the Quran, like in English, like, you know.
Where did you get? How did this come into your life?
Like, you know, it's always been like this first book, like, you know, but I thought bring it, like, you know, of course I have my Arabic version, and like, you know, I had this along the way. And as well, the Fiqh Sunnah as well, which is one of the great pillars of the, not the pillars, but it's if we want to delve into that, maybe I can delve with her with this. And I would love to, like, you know, answer any question that I would be knowing of. And it's very beautiful to share faith and we, like, you know, and it's lovely. And it's not just faith is one, like, but if I know something, like, you know, if I have something, I will definitely know, like, share it because it will come back to me and, like, you know, but yes.
Well, I love the
How long
Muslim.
have you been into it, like, you know, and
This was in January.
how deep, like, you know, how deep are you into it? Of course, you have a lot of questions and...
I have a lot to learn. I feel like Islam is the ocean, and when you start to, like, feel called to it, you don't, if Islam is the ocean, you don't get on a boat and sail to the middle of the ocean and jump in because you'll drown. So I'm like on the shore,
On the
and
shore.
I'm
Yeah.
like swimming, starting to swim, but since the moment that I said my shahada, I started praying 5 times a day, 5 times a day, no question. It just feels so natural, very natural for me. Ramadan, I fasted for the Ramadan, read the Quran in Ramadan, and now I'm learning the surahs so that I can bring the sound healing into my ceremonies,
Oh my
which you'll
God.
see later.
Oh, yeah, what time is that?
It's at 8 p.m.
I hope I can catch like more couple of sleeping hours or so.
Yeah.
For a couple. I said 8 o'clock. Definitely, I'll be there. Yes, because you know what, and maybe like, you know, we met for this. I always had felt like, you know, I had something with the voice. I wanted something that wanna be out, but like, you know, just, you know, something.
Yeah.
And I been through as well, like, you know, each of the women, like, you know, all of us, as like back to your question when you asked me what about you, like, you know, have you ever had a vision or like things like, you know, time to time, like they connect, you connect within yourself, and then like, you know, once like, you know, connect with that all things together within one, and you feel this, like, you know, takes you to the other, like, you know, it's all the whole thing, like, you see, is you feel more with into the consciousness of this multi, like, you know, first we live with this multi-dimension, you feel like, you know, inside of you and outside of you, it's, I don't know how to, and like with the light, like, you know, and it feels, I don't know how to, I'm not as poetic, and it's not a meaning. Some things you feel, of course there is a meaning behind everything, but things sometimes are more than just that, and we're still, and I believe, like, you know, but I believe in light, and I believe in light, and I believe in one, and yes, and it's all connected, you see, and you feel right when it's right or is right, you see, like, as you said, like, when you start to feel this light coming in your heart, and you felt in balance, you can call it balance, you can feel like, you know, you got back to you feel that maybe I remembered, like, you know, maybe I unprogrammed what I was always programmed to.
Well, it's
And yeah.
It's not been like a smooth journey. It's actually been quite a rocky journey, because there's lots of, even as you're growing and evolving in any path, any direction, to be able to step into a new identity, because you're talking about an identity here, to be able
Don't call
to
it identity. No, like, I wouldn't call it identity. No, it's not the right word for me. But you know, you're not the only one. Like, you know, and that's why the universe is very, like, you know, connected more than we can ever, like, you know, think. Like, you know, or maybe some can see beyond some other Yeah, like depends on the where are you in your journey. However, like a lot of people are converting to Islam these days, and like it makes me wonder, like whether here and it's not related, like and it's not like no competition. This is good. This or you have your own life, like coming from being a Jew as well, like like Jews as well, like like where the Jewish religion, or the Jewish family is very religious. You have this kind of so it's beyond that, and you get to choose. Maybe like you believe in like you're Buddhist, like any kind of other.
So
in the self.
In my like definition of identity, it's like even calling yourself Jewish that's having an identity. Even calling yourself a mother is having an identity. If I call myself a musician, I'm having an identity. So we have all of these like roles that we play, just like the clothes that we wear. And when Islam came in, because of the light that I feel when I'm connected to Islam, it felt like this is the true identity of the soul. Like the soul is going back to the source, and which is
it's more one, but
it's like the way that I see it is that the soul is going back to source. With Islam, because you're connecting to the source of power, you're connecting to the source of light. So for my journey, because it was so like, it was like the decision I had made was done, but then a lot of the old parts of me, a lot of the old identities had to like fall away.
But still, let me add to this, like very you can still connect to the source through Christianity, like through the faith or through the faith. It's about the faith. That's what I mean. Like those are really different paths. Let's not limit it to the word identity, because we're being very limited. When we are in times, things are more broader right now, like just to limit it. You know who you are, I'm not saying like trying to grow more. It's not like if you do this, you're connected. Maybe I got you wrong. That's the source of my God is oh my God, so it's more about the intentions. The intentions, the more they're honest and they're from the heart, like it's the other way around my dear Natalie. Like I hope I can interpret myself correctly. There's no one right path. All paths are there. As long as you don't get caught. Like you can be whoever you could be, just doing that. I'm just not you become stuck at this very limited identity for yourself if you choose to be just all those I believe all those limiting kind of feathers or constraints, borders, things, religions, all those man-made kind of restricting, limiting, the humanity, the soul, the source is wider. The light is bright enough to to withhold whoever wants to reach it. If you want to reach light, it will hold you as long as you want to. So it doesn't have to be through Islam. But you choose because you have the choice. It can be whichever path will take you there. Like it's not only that. By the way, come on. We're not coming from the background, or we're not the whole world is shitting this. This is just for politics, my friend. Like completely for wars. This war is happening. Couple of kilometers here because of this. Religion is not about this. The religion, it takes you. It unites us. It doesn't let us kill each other. Those ones are crazy. They kill each other in the name of religion because they're. What's that? It's not. It's never about this. How this will take us in a whole but the light, because it's the journey to reach the light. Because when you listen all of us, where are we going from here, my friend? Where do we go now, my friend? We want to reach some light, we want to reach some light, this lightness. lightness of being, like, Condera, I love this, Milan Condera, this writer. But it's no, there is no one right thing. This is so selfish, this is so arrogant. But what you choose, but the collective gives you a thumbs up or highlights if you're on the right track or on the wrong track. That's why it was very confused. You said that you're trying to be or to go into Islam because it's not only you. A lot of people, what's happening in Gaza right now, unintentionally, a lot of people right now are going, it's the other way around. You choose what to be. You can be a Buddhist, you can be whichever. As long as you embrace the community side of you, because what Islam says, I've been through the Torah, of course, and I love phrases, I've always been interested in those normal jobs. How, why, be the human, the normal, teenage, talk. And it's what you feel, truly, you be it, and embody it, and embrace it, and it's a never-ending journey. You don't say, hey, I'm the best Muslim, I'm not the Islam, but just be human. What's beautiful about Islam? Once you have it with me, I don't think it's having your heart. I wouldn't be able to see your intention. I wouldn't know if you're true or not true. I don't know. Because that's why I told you I'm very humble. Because you want to carry the Quran. I don't know how this book reached my path. And I would be might be able to get some deep meanings. It's a lot of meaning, and it's not about it's not competition. Come on, competition in the Olympics. Come on, okay, get some medals. We're not here for medals. We're not here to see who's superior to who. All these old. Oh my God, humanity, oneness. I believe in that. And Islam is all like this. Islam is not denying the life of God, or call it God, call it the universe, call it Jesus, call it Black Jesus, call it this table. I would still respect you as long as you're a real human. To me, it's about the essence. Forget about the titles. They're so limiting. This word identity is so famous. We're wider and wider. They're limiting themselves. And this is because this is from those have been everybody all the ancestors this is what the remnants from history. So those books have to be read the Torah, the Old Testament, the New Testament, because this is what all the stories are the same. Have you noticed? So I don't care how.
I think what you're trying. I think what you're saying
versus darkness.
I think what you're saying.
You go for the light whichever way you want. You take the bicycle, you go walking. As long as you are on a true, honest, and if you feel it, energies don't lie. Words lie.
Energy.
Energies don't lie. And you cannot deprive the word energy out of it. This book is energy.
Yeah.
And it's written in Arabic, because Arabic is language for a reason. I don't know why, but this does not give it a privilege on, but writes it before. I don't have to learn it. Easy. But we are we have some mind here, we can even really think and then the intention, forget about the mind. But the intentions are louder these days, because mind can take us to some dark places, to kill children, for power, control, to be on better, the school message, colonize, I take it, mistakes start from come on, we're so fragile and delicate. And because we found ourselves here, in this dimension, in this world,
You're gonna come
for a
to
reason, as you said, or like for a purpose. That's my girl.
I'm good? Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, we still need to meet up.
Yeah, we should, but I am so freaking busy. Like, too busy at the moment, but I
I
hope
can reschedule for you.
in a couple of
I would
weeks.
love to. Let's go to the beach.
Yes, we should. I'll text you. She's gonna leave today. She's gonna give me some space.
I wouldn't be able to fill it out, of course, like, nothing can fill out yours, but
She's
I
leaving.
would love your company.
Yes, we will. We will, definitely.
Fellas, please, let's do that.
We're
I'm
gonna
so
do
glad
it.
I saw you. And nice to meet you too.
We'll make it happen.
Both of you have great haircuts, like, I love that.
Thanks.
Yes, like, nice to meet you,
I went to
girls.
the dark room yesterday.
Guys, those are beautiful people of Dahab, like, those beautiful ladies. I'm not sure if you can see them. Like, tell me to say your name.
Kim.
Kim, and the beautiful lady. Emily, yes.
What are you doing? Making...
They're just making just a video, like a podcast, like we can do one later.
I listened a bit in. I love that.
Yes, let's we will delve into that.
Sometimes.
Definitely. Okay. Bye bye. Yes. Yeah. So us alone, like the individuality will keep you so alone by the end of the day. So it's individual. This will take me back, like when we post. Remember, it's individuality versus the collective. You call the individual the self. The self is not individuality. I'm sorry, because the self is part of the whole. Because we are part of the source. If you believe in that, and, it's not Nadi and all are one different shapes or different interpretations of the source. Like لقد خلقنا شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. I'm not better than you, and you're not أتقاكم. Whoever cares to reach the light inside of you, this is our homework as human beings. Like it's this is our homework. Like of course, my homework is like to go and edit, like and try to get some sleep and eat healthy, like and do the dishes and do the laundry. Yes. And there is bigger homework for us, and this is the purpose. Like and each one of us find it through music. One of the meanings that I really like a lot is honesty. We don't really honestly call it to each other. The words are so limited back again. But like how truthful and how honest. like بجد الأمانة بكل اللغة العربية الأمانة.
I love the feel in the Arabic language, the way that the words resonate in the
They use it
body.
in magic, my friend. All the magic made in Arabic letters and the Hebrew ones, basically because it's called spelling. And like we have this saying, Arabic saying, because الأقدار تصنع من الألسنة. You make your destiny through what you say. So that's very careful, those sound careful way you wish you could just get it, but you see. Yeah, so that's why, and الكلمة في الإسلام, well, I chose it for a reason. I have my own reasons, and of course, you can choose for different ones, like you see, but whichever touches your heart, whichever touches it, and we think it's right, the way you were created and figured. See, we don't get to choose some things. You don't get to choose your DNA, for instance. I don't want to go right. I want to go wider than this, but it's the way it touches it. That's why my daughter need to listen. You don't go to Islam. Islam comes to you, and it goes this way around,
Isn't there a saying in Arabic that you could be born Muslim, but you could be born Muslim, but you have to find Islam? It's like a saying. What is that saying? There is a saying.
Because I had this question when I was 13 years old. Like, in person, my friend, my best friend, she was Christian. And I really, really loved her girl, and her dad was Pope, that was the church. The word. And I love her so much, she's my best friend. And, oh my God, us, being at this very young age, not fully developed. But come on, sometimes they strict you, you're right and wrong. She's very good, she's my friend. Come on, she's the best in the world. This is where it all started, like you see. And so, the more I go into, the more I mature, the more I go through my journey. you see, of course, sometimes we reach those. We find some answers here. Like we came here to not know. Like this normal answer. Like you get the normal why and how and when. Like the eternal kind of and it goes beyond. That's what I figured out. Sometimes I ask the right question. And it's always beyond. And we wouldn't get it at a younger age. So the more that we feel and then it's like the universe, there's turns and we are like in Egypt, like in Dahab, and then we find out it's going on a couple of here this is all about love and energy but it's beyond that. It's not with identity, I am weird and no.
The true identity is light.
And how
that's the true identity of the soul. The true identity of the soul is light, no matter what religion you're from, no matter what culture you're in. And so anything that is outside of that is an identity. But your real identity as a soul is light, and that's why all souls are looking for light.
My ID is Ola, I'm Khalifa. They say which this is the you want to go identity. My ID card is.
But I'm talking about deeper than that.
It doesn't. Yes,
I'm not just talking about the name. I'm talking about the only true essence of you is
and your nationality and everything.
Your light.
Your light. But however, this light has been to this earth. Maybe God chose to to speak on those mountains. For a reason we don't know why. And this is why it's all filtered. But there's some things you don't choose and something you do. And of course we never we have this beautiful verse in the Quran, you have all your freedom, you think your mind works, go ahead and think, you think you know best, you think you can go to Mars, you can go with artificial intelligence, you think you can not meet humanity, you think you got, be it, but you wouldn't be able because you're the creature, you're not the creator of the words. I don't know, but there's sorts I don't want to go into. I don't want to leave the. Just one though. But I believe these are very interesting times. That's for sure. Because we get to read some beautiful, interesting babies, and all of a sudden we get to have some beautiful, interesting books that matches the. And if I ever have any answer, I think it's an answer to a certain common question. I wouldn't I'll be humbled to to share this answer. If you want to call it answers, because this is human mind breaks. We need some answers for God's sake. What are we doing here? How did I end up here? This is what do we do? Sleeping. Before we get to sleep, right? As humans and a part of the right race, I wouldn't walk in the walk, kind of, you see, leave all this, because all this, is, I believe, this is light versus darkness. I believe so. We have the seven skies and the seven, deep down grounds, and those two. That's why the earth. Can you feel it? Huh?
I love your passion. I love your passion.
Because I don't know. I wouldn't call it. Those are not visions, and those are not. I wish I can that's why I had to give more time to art, because it's more you feel this is what you're that's my purpose to do, because the words are so limiting coming from a linguist background, speaking a lot of languages, and
if we tie this back into, because we were talking about the voice and sound,
or the voice,
how words are limiting.
This creation, this is art as well.
That's something.
Let's talk about art, man. Let's make love right now and forget about this war.
That's
really.
That's something that if you strip away words from sound and allow just sound to come through you, you can, I feel at least anyway in my journey, that you can express yourself so much more freely and authentically when you just connect to what wants to come through. So when, like, to tie this into the Quran, when I don't speak Arabic, I know a few
I would love
words.
to share.
Okay?
I would love, you know what?
I would love you to teach me.
I
You're a linguist.
I don't teach. Like, we share. I don't teach. I'm not, like, you know, of course, like, I work as a teacher. Like, I live that. Like, you know, but I'm not, like, you know, because this is what we need from each other as humans.
So to finish what about that point is that when you don't understand something in the mind, for example, a language where I can hear the Quran and I don't understand what it means, but I can feel the vibration of the words. The vibration of the words feel your energy in your heart, and that's where the healing comes in.
Yes.
So there's been times where I've opened a page and I've heard the prayers, and you just start crying. How can you explain that? I don't know what the words mean, but my soul.
Don't tell me like that.
My soul
Not tears
knows
like
it.
this, like beautiful eyes.
That's the powerful. It's not about the word itself. It's like the vibration that the word has. And so the
That's
soul knows.
energy, my friend.
Yes.
And energy is so nice.
And the soul knows.
Yes.
So the soul remembers, even in the protection. You know the protection verse at the end, Almas.
That's what it makes.
Yes. The first line. Yes. When I first heard that, it was like I just cried. How?
This last sort of
Yes, and it's about there is a vibration in words that the soul feels, even if the mind can't logically understand what is happening. And so that's what can connect you to source when you're following that. That's where the healing comes.
And the source waiting for you to connect to. This is always there. Always, it's always here, and it's not. It's a feeling, you know, because maybe for traditional kind of, I don't want to call it traditional. I'm in no place, in no shoe to call this traditional or this, but you know, maybe I'm not the best model, and like I try. We all on a journey to perfect it. There is room for better. Like, you know, like, we all you know what? It's like you want to be better. I believe this is the whole journey about, you know, to levitate and be better. Like, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not only about the connection. We levitate to the source. Like, you know, as the human, like, and that's what I really, really love about Islam. It's sort of like, you know, the story of creation. Like, you know, this is the story of creation, almost like the embodied same. It's the same essence, for God's sake. They try to separate us. Like, everybody supports us, you see? Yeah, you're free to choose that, like, you know, which like, you know, pathway to. So, like, if we were created on the shell of a turtle, or like, you know, in Gilgamesh, or like, you know, being created in heaven, or oh my God. So yes, and like, yes, we try to levitate and be better humans. You call it savoir-faire, you call it common sense, you call it being genuine, you call it being authentic, you call it being just kind, you call it being just cheerful. Like, you know, what's beautiful in Islam, like, you know, a smile is a language. Do you know that? Everybody can understand a smile. It's an art. Or when it's fake it, or when it's like, when you smile, like, you know,
when you don't want to smile,
when you want to smile,
yes.
like, you better not. You see, because this is a way of coming here, like some other like, you know, we get to be rewarded if we just go around and smile to each other. Like, we need to see, like, cheerful. We need to see that this. I want to see, like, really. We need to make it play better. So I would love to see you smiling and happy. I would love that. Like, you know, it will be reciprocating, right? Like, you know, it's what do you call it? It's infectious. Like, you know, when you smile, like when you laugh, there is love, healing, like, you know, healing through laughter. Like, you know, you see, and so I believe in, like, you know, I believe in resonance, and I believe in yes, yeah. Yeah.
You'll love the ceremony tonight.
Yeah, I would definitely love that, because, like, you know, I tried playing music, and I have some shapers, but I'm basically like they're not mine. But I would definitely, I've been wanting so much to, but I never had the time, and maybe sometimes never had the whatever, like, you know, the time. Yes, let's call it. to attend. So I would love to yes and work and share like in voice. When you get the goosebumps, like when sometimes those kind of moments I'm going to call it are so precious. Are like what do you call it? The word has less at the end. It's oh my god. But those moments really matters, and these days they make an imprint. Like you see, and they levitate your own. That's why this is all about healing. Like all of us wants to heal. Every single human being here on earth wants to heal, wants to return home, and wants to wait. It's so home is the source and light, and we wouldn't be able to do it in one, like all together we'll be able to do it so much. And I don't say I'm the right one. I don't say it. I believe in it so much and all that, and I would love to share good vibes. You say it like it brings me some goodness. I would love to share this goodness. That's why I'm very passionate. And I don't want to make money through this YouTube channel, guys, because we need to, we need this. Who needs money? For fuck's sake. Excuse my French.
You need money to survive.
Right.
Money is part of life, but it's your
Yes.
perception of money that's
I cannot be we did it. Is this a purpose for life? It's important, of course, But I mean, subscribe, guys, and we talk a lot of money. I need to get my porch here, and yes. So thank you so much for being with us, and this is beautiful. And today we have yes, let's go with both, and let's take you to to the mountains and to the sea, and let's have a walk together.
okay. You're talking into the microphone.
To what?
It looks like you're talking into our little microphone here.
Yeah, I'm just looking like yes, this angle is better.
Is this thing on?
Oh, yeah, this is mine. Yes, it's nice, by the way. I love you guys. A lot of love, hearts, and let's have a walk together. Bye.